Yes, you read that right. Increasing your prices is actually going to always guarantee better client outcomes. And I'm going to show you exactly how we can say that and make sure that happens each and every time right after this. Let's just get it out there first and foremost. We don't charge what we're worth. And regardless of what some people still like to say, people won't pay. Yes, they will. The more you make people pay, the more they will actually be accountable and the better client results you'll get each and every time. Let me take a step back. We've just had one of our boardroom sessions that we've just had with some of our top performing clients that have got big teams and big businesses. And we got chatting around prices and some of the avenues in which we're going to do this, and everyone's going to be doing this moving forward from here. Now, there's a lot of complexity to this, and there's a lot of questions, and a lot of people want to sort of rebut. There's a few things we have to remember first and foremost. One, we got into this industry to help people, to change lives, to have a big impact. We talk about with the tribe, it's all about creating more time, more money, more freedom, and more impact. For me, I want to be able to change the lives of 20 million people by the year 2025. It's why I've had that 2025 vision, which I've got on the poster here behind me, and I tell people about, and I've been telling people for 5 or 6 years now. It's a big 10-year vision of mine. And that's what I want to do. And we're very much on track over the global companies that I have as well. But still got a lot more work to do. And if we knock it out of the park, which I think we might, I'm going to feel even better still. So here's the thing. We're trying to help people. But one of the things that we know is that when people actually are, one, emotionally invested, and two, financially invested into any process, they're more accountable and more driven to delivering better application for themselves. They're going to turn up. They're going to be more accountable. They'll work harder because there's skin in the game. And because there's some type of pain point that's going to force them to not let themselves down. And the last person we ever let down in our life is not actually your mum, it's you. And so as a net result, if we can, well not if, but when we can actually get people's skin in the game, and we also know what their emotional hook and the emotional involvement is to what they're wanting to do, then we have the two golden keys to achieving better outcomes with each and every client. Now you might be thinking, well, great, Jace, I already charge a premium price, or I already charge people money. So if I've already got skin in the game, why do I need to charge more? Well, let's just put aside the fact that we are undervalued in the marketplace primarily. We don't charge enough for our services. We don't charge enough for the value and benefit that we actually provide. Yet a majority of the time, it's just our own bullshit mentality, is the way the technical words, right? Our own bullshit mentality about our perception, and it's an incorrect perception that people aren't prepared to pay. I even hear it a lot from clients where they say, oh, I'm in a low socioeconomic area and people won't pay. Well, shout out to a client of ours and one of the industry leaders, John Stevens. John puts it very, very simply at a conference, probably 12 months ago, maybe more. And he turned around and he said, and excuse my language, who the fuck do you think you are to decide on what people will or won't pay for? Now, it's 100% true. And everyone who's good at business in our industry knows that to be true. The vast majority of the time, we have a bullshit mentality in our head first and foremost that they won't pay $10 or $20 more than a bulk billing rate. Or if I try and jack up my prices from $80 a session to $100 a session, people won't pay that. Well, again, as John says, who are you to decide what people will and won't spend their money on? Because a lot of the time, the people that we try and say can't afford it other people very much affording their cigarettes, their alcohol, their Foxtel, their Netflix, and much more each and every week. So this is not about the bullshit, incorrect perceptions in your head about what they will and won't pay for. This is about the fact that we don't actually value our service and we're not actually selling as such in the right way to make people understand the value and benefit and the saving at which we are putting to them. So that's the first thing that we have to stop and understand before we can go any further. But the other thing that we see in the marketplace right now, which is why it's the perfect time for you in your business to actually increase your prices, is that we have a massive team member shortage. Whether you look at physios, EPs, psychologists, dietitians, OTs, speech pathologists, huge amounts of in and around several of the companies that I have, in and around our clients that we work with. I think pretty much every single client that we're working with right now is desperate for more team members. I know in Sydney at the moment, advertise-wise, there are 28 full-time physio jobs, including 2 that are on the main street of Manly Beach and another one on DY, the next beach north. So this isn't about you've got the wrong team or you've got the wrong culture or people don't want to work for you, etc. There is a massive shortage of practitioners in the marketplace right now. Within 20 minutes of the CBD, there is literally 18 full-time positions that are being advertised, and I know of 4 others that aren't even advertising right now, and that's just in my circles. So when we stop and think about it, everyone is in a situation where our industry has grown, our skill sets are being more valued. COVID and lockdown and all these different changes have happened in the last 12 months have shown that people need to value their lifestyle, they need to value their health more. And as a net result, that, and along with a lot of other reasons, have meant that our industry has grown, which is fantastic. But it's also the perfect time for you in the business to be able to now put your prices up. Because now there's less availability for people to actually just go wherever they want. There's more power in the business being able to turn around and say, this is what you want, here's what we're going to deliver, here's what we can guarantee, and this is what it's going to cost you. And so this is the perfect time for everyone to be putting up their prices. We also know that fundamentally, if you are to charge someone more for your service or your product, you will always get yourselves working more for that client, making sure that if someone's paying, let's say you charge someone $1,000, not $100, you're going to work so much more to get them to achieve their outcomes and their goals to be realized. And so what you're actually doing by putting your price up, you are always guaranteeing that you're not going to let yourself down. You're not going to let your client down. You're going to mean that you're going to have more clients, more financials in place, revenue-wise, profit-wise. And as a net result, let's not just get this thinking about it's all about greed and making more profit. No, it's not. Because you've actually got now a greater avenue to be more philanthropic and invest more money and time back into the community or back into your chosen area. See, this isn't about money. And this came up in our boardroom chat today. 2 of those boardroom people turned around and said, look, I'm very comfortable, Jace. I'm very happy with where I'm at. I've got a very good lifestyle and we've got good cash flow, great revenues, good profits. And we're all high-fiving them going, that's fantastic. But if you can do that, and you choose not to do more, what it's actually doing is it's actually preventing you from having more impact. Because I think it's fantastic that it's not about the business owner making more money. But if you don't know what to do with the money, then I think we need to look at why you're in the industry in the first place. Because if you've got better revenues and better profits, you've got a better affinity to be able to do more for different support groups, different charities. There's so much more that you can do and have a great impact. So if we truly are in this industry to help people, to change lives, then we should be doing everything in our power to grow bigger businesses, have bigger revenues, have more profit, because it gives you better opportunities and more avenues to then actually have greater impact. It's not about just earning more money so that we have a bigger pay packet. It is 100% about having more impact and helping more people out. And you can only do that when your business is more profitable, has better revenues, and it enables you to make better choices as to how you then want to reinvest and impact the people that you desire to. So I know this podcast, we've jumped around a bit because it is a complex issue. There's a lot that can be discussed. But there's a couple of take-home messages that all of us in our industry right now need to do. Stop trying to be the cheapest. We have perceptions. We know that when someone has buy-in of a small amount, like $6 or $7, they are 92% more likely to buy more from you. So if you're bulk billing, stop it. Even if you just added a $7 gap. We know from research that this is going to mean that more people are going to be accountable. They will rebuy from you. And I know it's a bit icky when I talk about buying and things like that because we don't like to think that we buy and sell, but we do. We're selling health. We are in the business of healthcare. So we need people to be accountable, to be more able to hold our hands and take them through this journey. So we need better retention in that avenue. So charge people a gap, even if it's a small gap. If it's a small gap, charge them more right now because they're going to value your time. They're going to be more accountable and we're going to get ourselves better outcomes. You will be more applicable to the session. You will do more for them. You will help them more out as well because you are then bound to making sure that you have your own integrity and that you're going to give them more because you're charging a bigger price or a premium price. So there's naturally, our brain will make us work harder and work harder to get that better outcome for our clients. We also know with team member shortages that are out there in all states and all industry right now, that we are in a situation where we perfectly can lift up our prices. The saying goes that if you haven't got 8 to 10% of your clients complaining about the price, then your price isn't high enough. And every single time we've done this, I've actually done this live multiple times, about 12 or 14 times. Every time we force clients to do this and we've gone from like $70 to $80 or $90 to $105, they have not lost a single client in the weeks after as a net result. Because people expect prices to go up. There's inflation, there's expenses, all the different avenues that are in place. So for most people, they haven't put their prices up for 2 years or 3 years. And so as a net result, there's a much greater avenue of understanding and respect for people knowing that that's going to happen. They accept that, and as a net result, you're able to have better revenues, and in this situation, they are straight profits, which doesn't have to go into your pocket. You can choose to spend those however you want to. You can put more of the profits into working with some of the chronic disease states. Maybe you want to do what we did over 12 years ago and work with 11 other stakeholders and put together a cancer and oncology infusion center for like 2.6 million. So it's not about just making more money or being greedy or making more profits. This is about you having the choice to be able to decide what you want to do. Have more impact in certain areas of your choosing. Because ultimately that's why you got into the business side of things, because you wanted to be the controller of your destiny, make the choices that you know fitted best with your ethics and morals. So why wouldn't we go ahead and put a strategy in place that means that we can make more revenue and profit to decide on how we're going to better help and impact lives? We can do it in the way that fits well with yourself, but we do it in a way that also means you're going to apply yourself more, get better outcomes. The client's going to have better accountability and get better outcomes. There is no downside to any of this. I think we should all be doing it right now. It's the perfect time in our industry. We shouldn't be racing to the bottom and discounting. We shouldn't be undervaluing ourselves. We should all be lifting our prices, and we should all be doing that right now because each and every time it will guarantee a better client outcome. I am 100% dead set certain of that, and we prove it all the time with all of our clients. I think you need to do that as well. All of us need to do that and make sure that we have more impact. We create more time, more money, more freedom, and more impact to all of the clients and people around us in our lives. Let's go and raise our prices, and I guarantee you'll also get better client outcomes each and every time. I'll talk to you again very soon. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.